Hey there, Titans! Welcome back to another Titan Academy video. Today, I will show you how to trigger a Titan flow from a Titan web project. In our example today, I already have a web project and a flow project all set up, so let's quickly review these and see what I want them to do. Over in my web project, firstly, I have a file uploader. Then I have a dropdown asking me where I want to upload my file, either Google Drive or OneDrive. And finally, I have an input for watermark text. We'll be adding this watermark to our file and then uploading it either to Google Drive or OneDrive. Then I also have a field here for my result URL, where I want to receive back the URL from either OneDrive or Google Drive, whatever I choose up here. So over in our flow, we have exactly this setup. Let's just quickly take a look at our variables. So I have the watermark text, I have the file URL for our output, I have the upload location, so that's either Google Drive or OneDrive. And for files, I have an input and output file. So what I'm doing is I'm firstly watermarking the image, then I'm checking if my location is equal Google Drive and I'm uploading it to Google Drive. If it's OneDrive, I'm uploading to OneDrive, and otherwise I'm setting a value to my variable telling me that no service was found. And finally, I'm returning that to my web project. So if we quickly save and publish this, we can head to our web project and start configuring the flow. So a Titan flow can be invoked from a web project in any action flow. In my case, I'm going to use a button. We're going to say call flow, and we're going to head over to the on-click action of this button. But again, this can be done from conditions on your file uploader or really any other action flow in a web project. So on my button, I'm going to head over to interactivity, on-click actions, and I'm going to add a flow node. This is it. And from here, I can select any flow project I have in my environment. So mine over here is called trigger from web. So I'm going to select my trigger from web flow. Over here, I can select if I want to run it in test mode or publish mode. Usually this doesn't really matter. It depends on what you select here. Usually it's fine to just do publish mode on both. Then I can enable or disable run in background. This will freeze my screen while the flow is running if it's disabled, and if it's enabled, it will run in background and I will be able to still use my web project. I usually like to disable this just so I know when my flow has finished running. And you can add a custom message here. So let's add custom message. We'll see that when we invoke this. And we have here two buttons to configure parameters. We have the parameters that we're sending when we call the flow from our web project, and we have parameters that we're getting back. So let's start with configure parameters that we're going to send to the flow. I want to send my input file. So I'm going to select field for this one, and I'm going to select my file uploader file. I want my watermark text. So I'm going to select my watermark text field. And finally, I want to send the upload location as well. So that is my drop-down upload to. So I'm going to send the value of that. Now we can hit apply, and for return parameters, you'll see I have no options. This is because return parameters are only available for global parameters. So I'm going to hit next insert here to just add this to our button and apply. And in my web project, I need to head over to settings, tools, custom variables, and I have to add a global variable to receive back the value for my flow. So let's call this URL, and back in my flow, we can now head to return parameters, and we'll see my URL parameter. And I can set that from a field, and we can see file URL is available to map here. Can hit apply, and after finish, we want to set that value to our text field because we have the text field for our result. So we can say set value from our URL parameter. So now what we're doing is we're invoking the flow. We're sending all our inputs, the file, the watermark text, and the upload location. And once we get back the file URL, we are going to set that to our result. So we can save and preview this, and we can choose an image from our computer here. Let's say I want to upload this to Google Drive. This is my text, and we can call our flow. So we can see the custom message pops up here. And if we haven't chosen to run this in foreground, we wouldn't even see this pop up. And in just a moment, we should get a link to Google Drive. And we can open the file, and we can see the file with our watermark in the middle text. And that's how it's done.